Hello, and welcome to Let's Talk Real Estate Stuff podcast, where we dive deep into the world of real estate investing and the random stuff to make life interesting. Today, I'm joined only by my friend Carlos Zamora from InvestFuse and Carrot. Papa P is driving to his potential new park, making stops at all his other parks, and I think picking up his daughter from Auburn. So busy pre-Thanksgiving week for Papa P as he's getting things done in the mobile home park world. So be exciting to hear from him.
He's really good. He's
Fun
really
stories.
getting work done.
Yeah. How's your week been this week, Carlos? Mine's been absolutely bananas.
I was gonna say anything I could say. I don't think it would be as action packed as yours, but it's been good. some fun meetings. You can kind of tell people are wanting to get some things done before the holiday season kicks off, because I feel like a lot of people
on right now.
Yeah, once it's like Thanksgiving time, there are definitely people that work a good bit in December and stuff like that. But I feel like this kind of checks out, and even for me, I'm noticing the last few years when I like want to plan out stuff for the next year. A lot of times, even though I do planning and visioning and stuff like that, Trevor's huge on that. I've watched his epic planning calls towards the end of the year. I think like ever since they came out, like probably close to like a decade. But I always am like, man, I would love to have a little bit more time to have like thought through and like do some things. I don't know if that'll ever go away, but this year I want to start doing it like now. So I'm kind of like heeding to my own advice of what I'm seeing with our members and prospects and people like that for Carrot and InvestFuse.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of thinking ahead to 2025, even like internally from what our companies are doing. But yeah, definitely noticing it from our customers as well. Just like, what is it that they want to accomplish in 2025, and do they have the right things in place to be able to do that? And if you don't, like, how do they get to that kind of level? It's a good time to do it. I mean, it's important to set off your year the right way as well.
And I think it's also a lot of election. It's been a week after the election now, so settling in to see what the new regime is going to be. Crypto's been going crazy.
Has it? I haven't been following.
Bitcoin went up to maybe 93K, something like that.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah. So there's a lot of.
Has he launched his Bitcoin yet? Or not his coin? Isn't he launching a crypto?
Trump?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, I haven't dove too deep on Fallon. I kind of just check. I check the markets. I try to every day or two.
Yeah.
See what's going on.
It's interesting that they're bouncing that way. But good. I like cryptocurrency, so.
For sure.
Yeah, wild week for us, or for me. We're next week launching Carrot CRM, which I tell you what, like, this has been. I hope I look fondly back on it, but like launching another product that ties deeply into another product and creates a platform, while at the same time releasing a giant feature in the other one to make the platform work. Whoo, boy. There's just a lot of moving pieces, a lot of things going on. It's fun working with everybody on it, though. I mean, it's not like I'm hating it. I kind of like miss this fast-paced environment. It kind of reminds me of early days of launching InvestorFuse products. But yeah, no, it's wild. But got the best people working on it, fixing some bugs right now, but things are moving in the right direction. So next week will be a big week for Carrot as we launch our CRM offering, which is InvestorFuse, but orange now. But the exciting part of that, and we've talked about on this podcast, is we are releasing a free version, which I think has incredible ramifications for the real estate investing marketplace. Just like you can't get a free CRM that's real estate focused anywhere. I mean, you can build something on Podio. It's not going to have any automations, but we're going to give you the ability to, once you go through A2P 10 DLC and do that process. So don't think day one you're going to be able to start texting, but you'll be able to text for 1 cent a text. You'll be able to run sequences. We've got advanced property reports that you can pull. So a lot of exciting things in that free version. And I'm really excited to see what the marketplace thinks about it, talk to those customers. It's not a type of customer we really focused on ever at InvestorFuse. So I've got a lot to learn from them, which I'm excited about.
Mhm.
I continue to enhance that offering to make sure it works for those kind of beginner investors, and then it scales into our existing plans that we have already and that we know work really, really well for acquisitions teams. From I'm just doing it myself to I'm doing it myself with a VA to I've got
Mhm.
3 closers and 6 follow-up specialists. It's can be great to see people scale through those plans and become bigger and bigger businesses inside the real estate space. So
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to it, but I need some sleep. Once it's all done, maybe vacation. I think I've slept like 5 hours every night this week,
Oh
starting
my
at
gosh,
7
man.
p.m. and just go until I drop. So there's a
Gosh,
lot
man.
going
Hats
on.
off to you. Well, you deserve many vacations, honestly.
But yeah, no, I'm excited about it. We are gonna keep the podcast shorter for that reason because I gotta get back to
Mhm.
testing. But
Mhm.
we did. Both of us have had some interesting conversations with customers this week. I'm talking, so I'll go first, and then we can touch on yours, which I'm intrigued to learn about. I have been chatting with people about like phone solutions. It's kind of funny. Like I think this got mentioned on a call today, like the shiny object syndrome or the grass is greener on the other side. I feel
Mhm.
like our industry is just like prone to this problem where like something's like slightly going wrong or there's maybe some small problems in a piece of software that do rack up like a this is really annoying that I have to deal with this every day kind of deal. And so you look at something else and you're like, oh, that looks amazing. Like, what's that going to be? How much is it going to cost? Like, can it integrate? Can it do those things? So I've been working through some of those conversations today or this week. InvestorFuse and Carrot CRM will support other VoIP solutions here, hopefully here by the end of the year, if not sooner, which is exciting. I mean, I want to give people the ability to choose their VoIP solution. We don't provide that offering. So versus like other softwares out there, like FreedomSoft, REI Blackbook, REI Sift, not Sift, sorry, or
Simply.
yeah, not Sift, Simply, Resimply. They all have built-in dialers, right? And so
Mhm.
you're kind of stuck to that choice and stuck to the features that are there. We're in a unique position where we don't want to build a dialer. There's other people out there that do that great. And so what other dialers can we integrate with? But it's interesting having the conversation of like what you're going to gain and lose. So we currently integrate with smartphone, which has been wonderful to work with. They are very real estate focused because that's who the majority of their customers are. Not everybody that joins smartphone is a real estate investor, but it just happens to be that's the majority of their customer base. So they've really focused in on what it is that a real estate investor needs from a VoIP solution. And so, and they're definitely, I mean, they've built a VoIP product from scratch. You look at other companies like a Dial Pattern or Ring Central that have been around for 10 plus years. Yeah, their features are going to be a little bit more robust over there, but you're going to lose the ability to have certain things. So one of them that we're kind of been talking through is like the dialer. So smartphone has a single line and multi-line dialer. And most of those other big VoIP companies don't have dialers.
Mhm.
They have integrations into other dialer platforms, but it's another subscription. It's another like thing to kind of manage, and it won't be able to integrate the way that Smart Dialer does into our platform. So I think there could be a world, maybe, and this is what I'm contemplating as we're planning out how to build this stuff, that you could have multiple communication platforms integrated into InvestorFuse and Carrot CRM. So you could have smartphone for its dialer capabilities, and then you could have something else for your acquisitions agents and managers to use. There's a lot of like interesting AI things that people at Dialpad specifically has been working on. So they have like the AI transcripts, the ability to set keywords to pull out from those transcripts and get a summary from. But one of their really intriguing features is a live analysis of a phone call. And if somebody says a keyword, it pings somebody else. So, for example, if somebody says the word
Yeah.
manager, then it could literally live ping somebody else and you can jump into that call. So, I gotta imagine that's expensive though, because
Yeah.
AI live transcripts would be using Chat GPT Omni, which I mean, it's just going to be expensive to run on every live call at the volume a lot of our customers are doing. So I haven't heard what the pricing is for that. So I'm curious to hear what that kind of stuff is. But Yeah, interesting convos. And I think compliance, we talked about this a lot. Compliance is still like this mystery thing that a lot of people in our space don't completely understand. And then they think that, oh, I'm having to be compliant on this platform. If I switch to another platform, I won't have to be compliant, which is far from the truth. Every platform has to be compliant. Some of them are ahead of the curve and helping you be more compliant. And I've lamented about this so much. The faster that you become compliant, the longer your business will survive, and the quicker that you will save yourself from a drastic, let's say, shutdown of all of your ability to text and call, and not be able to communicate with people at all because you weren't following the right guidelines. And we talked about, there's a lot of people out there that just don't understand compliance, and they see it as a negative. They see it as, if I do this, then the sellers, I won't be able to communicate with. And we've talked about it on this podcast before, but I'm such a firm believer. But if a seller doesn't want to talk to you and they don't want to get your text messages and they opt out, you're saving yourself money from communicating with somebody who isn't picking up. Now, can you still call them and send them emails? Yes, you can. And, there's definitely an argument to be had about, still following up with those people in the right time frame with the right type of communication. But I mean, you don't want to be spamming their phone number if they said stop and then you're still texting them. That's not looking good for anybody, and you will get shut down quick. So it's an interesting world. I think it's only gonna. Well, actually, you know what? It would be intriguing to see what a Trump presidency would do in that area. I still think that he would generally, or people that he would bring on board would lean towards consumer privacy rights. But he's also a big proponent of business. So I don't know. I don't even know how the FTC gets, or the FCC gets appointed. So that'll be intriguing to see if anything changes there.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, I mean, the phone systems would be nice to integrate with other ones. I never really thought about integrating two at the same time, even though I see it in a demo space every day with CallRail and smartphone integrated. I think just giving people the option, like smartphone gives people options of different CRMs they could integrate with. Same thing. We need to be able to give people.
Smartphone released a new plan. I didn't even know this. They have a cheap plan now. I think it's $24 a month for just one user.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that plays in nicely for us and other CRMs.
Yeah. Carrot CRM. You still have usage charges on there, but can't. I mean, I think their plan that they were with for a long time was $99. Let me look it up. 62. Or no, hold on, monthly.
So I think it's 75, but that was raised up a few months ago. It was maybe 65 before that. Then it went to 75.
That's 10 users included for 75. Now you've got $25 a month for one user. So
nice.
Pretty sweet pricing. I don't think you're going to find a lot of competition in that price point. I'm looking at Dialpad, and I think they're actually a per user pricing. So they actually have one that's $15 per user per month with unlimited calling.
That's
interesting. Crazy. Oh, no, sorry. Again, I'm looking at annual prices. So it's $27 a user per month. So smartphone's cheaper, but that's unlimited calling. I don't know how they do that. And then unlimited AI meetings for up to 10 participants. So that's the interesting thing, is they also have a Zoom kind of level feature inside of it called Dialpad meetings.
That's interesting. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan where the default is showing the annual price.
Yeah. You get misled a lot. I did that earlier when I was looking at some scheduling software. I was like, oh, it's only $6 and 25. Oh, that's the annual.
That's cool though. Just on the subject of CRMs, and even telling them, I had a good meeting with a high volume company today that's looking they're looking to get off of a Salesforce skin, left main, which was interesting. They do pretty much every single marketing channel. I would say pretty standard setup for mixed marketing channels, not like the heavy inbound where it's like an acquisition person that might take it from contact all the way to close. So a couple lead managers, a couple acquisitions, and they really loved just the stuff. That's why, I mean, InvestorFuse being industry specific, it's nice the level of sophistication that you have in features just right out of the box versus using something like a Salesforce or Podio that you could, I don't know the back end specifically, but you could probably get to that with someone customizing it for you at additional cost. So you're kind of trading off something that's almost infinitely customizable, either yourself or hiring a Salesforce admin to do it, versus like 90% of that bone structure being an InvestorFuse with better support, customer success, integrations at a lower cost too. So I think it's overkill for a lot of the industry. But yeah, I think there's a lot of benefits to InvestorFuse. That company was super, super impressed. Absolutely love the acquisition side. We're going to take a look at a few things in transactions for them and what that looks like. They liked it today. I think we want to iron out a few things with calendar, and then also some buyer things, some buyer communication things, or more so like buyer organization type things. But overall, really good call. And the sentiment is like they walked away like absolutely loving the acquisition side, KPIs, employee scorecard, everything like that. How easy the sequences are to build. Like a lot of the times with either Podio or Salesforce setup, it's like it's even a pain just to get those like set up and edit those, even if you are tech savvy, know the platform, stuff like that. So ours is very plug and play way to go. And I mean, I think we like, I know we got acquired with Carrot and merged them 2.5 years ago at this point, but I feel like both products are similar in a sense that they're both kind of like that. It's like not infinitely customizable, but like 90% of what you need. And at the end of the day, they're going to be most effective for a lot of people.
Yeah. It's interesting you mentioned transactions. That was another one of the phone calls I had this week. We've got like 6 enhancements coming to that came from a high volume team that are doing millions of dollars, lots of contracts, multiple transactions manager, dispo people involved in the process. So we've got some enhancements coming to that, and that will kind of continue. It's interesting. I've been playing around with what our roadmap is going to look like in the next in 2025. I mean, mobile app is very much on the top of the priority, but you mentioned something in there that's like I've been so waiting to get to, which is calendar functionality. Like we have to get that done before we can do mobile app functionality, before we can do any of the AI stuff that I've been playing around with. So that will be a big priority. I think we probably got like through the rest of the year where we'll be spending time on other communication tools, some of the smaller fixes, as well as just like monitoring Carrot CRM and seeing what we need to do in that land. But I'm excited. Our next big project will probably be the calendar integration. And I think it will be a major feature for everybody to be able to use what we're kind of planning to do there. But yeah, mobile app is becoming, has always been important, but I think it's getting to the point now where it's probably a massive driver to why people choose some of the other solutions over us. So it's definitely something that we need to solve the right way. That was one of the conversations I was having with Smartphone this week, is what their mobile app has. And because of the conversations that I introduced them to, they weren't really realizing what high volume teams problems are in things like the mobile app. And we talked about it for probably 10-15 minutes, and the general consensus is, real estate people, they don't need a mobile app that does everything. They need a mobile app that helps them with the now. What is it that's happening today? What is it that I need to be aware of today? What is it that I need to communicate with today? And so that's the kind of, we have so many high volume teams on InvestorFuse. Like could you imagine like the ability to like load up every opportunity on your mobile app? Like why would you want to do that? Go do that on the desktop. You'll have a better experience. But yeah, being able to stay in touch, like, what's happening today? Is there closing today? Is there a contract that expires today? How many follow-ups do I have today? Is there an appointment? All of that, how many open contracts do I have out right now that need signing? Those are the kind of like now today problems that we'll look to kind of bring to the mobile app.
Yeah, that'll be exciting. Mobile app's been a long time requested thing for sure. So that would be super exciting.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, that's been kind of my week this week, man. Just A lot.
Just
a
dude,
lot.
I hear you. You need a much deserved vacation.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually. I want to go back to the mountains, but we haven't looked into how much the mountains are back. Have you heard from your family up there? Is like things feel normal in Nashville now?
I think relatively, like there's still a lot of damage, but at least like the kids are back at school and everything's been back on for a few weeks at this point.
Nice.
At least a couple weeks at this point. So I think it's still there's still effects like businesses that got messed up and roads and stuff like that, but I think they're back to pretty normal.
Cool. I'll look forward to a trip to the mountains. I probably won't get there until next year, but it'll be a good time. Haven't been in years.
Spend some time on your vision for next year, what you want to put on there.
Yeah, exactly. Need a mountain trip or multiple. All right, dude. Well, sorry, podcast or not podcast. I don't know. What do we call this? Live show, talk show listeners for a short episode. We'll be back to normal next week. I will expound upon what it was like to release another product to another product and another feature in the other product. And then we'll get a fun, I'm sure, as usual, a fun update from Papa P of his travels and what he finds people lying about when they're trying to sell their mobile home park.
That's so funny. Yeah, we'll be back with plenty of that next week.
Yeah. All right, dude. Well, have a good weekend. Enjoy the
Likewise,
Florida
man.
weather. It's going to be a lovely weekend in Florida.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be nice this weekend, at least tomorrow.
Yeah.